Recording in progress.
Morning, Chairperson, members and Yolanda. I'm just checking if my audio is clear, Yolanda. Thank you.
Morning, Chair. Good morning, members. Yes, it is clear. Kashifa.
Thank you.
Very good morning, colleagues. I see the Honourable Kanile, the Honourable Mbiko, the Honourable Chaki Adonis, the Honourable Mai Lola, the Honorable Peterson. Is there anybody else? Good morning to all of you, honorable members. I hope you are very well this morning. I just wanted to, and good morning to our support team, and good morning to all South Africans following us online. I wanted to say we've got a very short time slot this morning. So we will only deal this morning with two matters, which is the strat plan, our APP, and our minutes, because we will have to leave this meeting just before 10 so that we can join the mini plenaries starting at 10 o'clock. I would also like to say, honorable members, that we were planning to circulate to you this morning a draft fourth term program as well as a draft first term program. But unfortunately, the NAPC is currently meeting to discuss the fourth term program. So as soon as they have adopted the fourth term program and have circulated that to us, we will then amend and finalize our program and then circulate the fourth term and first term program on the WhatsApp group so that honorable members are able to give your input to the program. I also wanted to say I've just listened to the NAPC. I've listened to the remarks of the Honorable Frolic. He had emphasized that the Portfolio Committee must must proceed with urgency to advertise for the council, which we adopted our advert last week, and that if we do want to proceed with the committee bill, that should follow as a later process. In other words, that we should defer that to the fourth term for consideration. So I wanted to also say, honorable members, as soon as the advertisement, Mr. Dumizweni is back, and we welcome him back, but he's in another meeting this morning where he's meeting with protection services in order to finalize logistics around our advertisement. And as soon as the advertisement advertising for nominations for the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide is out, we will also circulate that to members on the group so that you've got that available to share with your colleagues and also your various WhatsApp groups. Colleagues, then lastly, I wanted to say before I hand over to Ms. Silly to deal with the agenda and the apologies, that the court will this morning hand down judgment in the case of the late Ms. Tembekile Leklape, also known as the Pastry Princess. She was the firstborn daughter of Dr. Leklape, our colleague. She unfortunately sadly lost her life to this gender-based violence emergency that we are facing in our country. And we stand with Dr. Leklape this morning and his family in calling for the maximum sentence to be imposed on her murderer. And we will also keep Dr. Leklape and his family in our thoughts and prayers this morning. Yolanda, I will hand over to you to please deal with the program and the apologies before we hand over to Ms. Abrams.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you. Good morning, Chairperson. Can you hear me, Chair? Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. The agenda for today, we will be adopting the Portfolio Committee strat plan for the 7th Parliament. Members will recall that we met on the 4th of September for the committee strategic planning session. So today we will be adopting the strat plan for the 7th Parliament. We also will be adopting the annual performance plan for 2025-2026, and also we'll be considering and adopting the Portfolio Committee minutes. In terms of apologies, Chair, the only apology noted is from Dr. Leklape. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Ms. Silly. Please, can I ask for a mover and a seconder for our agenda, please?
Chair,
Morning, Honorable Shabango.
Ms. Polwani.
Honorable
Honorable Chair, I get to move the adoption of the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Polwani.
Yes, Chair. Thanks very much. Morning, Chair, and all members. I second the move of this agenda for today's meeting. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I see the hand of Honorable Dr. Leklape.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say I'm in the meeting, but I will leave maybe between 9:30 and 9:45 to get into court.
Thank you, Dr. Leklape, and we wish you and your family well.
Thank you.
And we hope that you'll get justice for your daughter today. Colleagues, thank you very much. So we will then use our time, as I've indicated, just to look at the strat plan, the APP, and adoption of our minutes. As I said, we will indicate further processes around a possible committee bill in the fourth term. But for now, we will just focus on finalizing the processes to get our ad published so that we can start with the calling for nominations, the shortlisting process, and finally the interviewing process. So I'm handing over to you, Ms. Abrams, if you can lead us through the two documents. And thank you for the hard work that have gone into this.
Thank you, Chairperson. The document is really, I'm just waiting for Yolanda to provide me some the ability to, there we go. Thank you. Just to reiterate, Chairperson and members, the document would not have been done without the hard work of the committee. We were definitely guided by what the committee wanted, what they proposed, and the strat plan is indeed a reflection of that. As Chair's noted, the strat plan covers 2024-25 to 28 to 29, and that's for the 7th Parliament. Chair, given our time frames, I'm mainly going to focus on the end of the document, which is about the objectives and the targets. I understand that members would have received the document. So just to highlight, the Part A covers all the essentials about why the context under which the strategic plan is done. We outline the strategic priorities, and then Part C is the focus around the strategic plan itself, which I will now go to. Keeping in mind that members had indicated your key priorities would be around the sanitary dignity program, unemployment with a focus on youth who are not in employment or education and training, as well as GBV with 2 pillars per year in terms of the NSP implementation. And then the other 10% of our time would be in terms of matters arising. And we understand, given the workload of the committee, that 60% of the committee's time is spent on quarterly reports, things we have to do, BRR, bills, and then the statutory appointments, which is the CGE, NYDA, and the council. Chair, I'm going to move straight down to the focus on, as I've indicated, the actual indicators and targets. The template that we have is what was provided by committee section, and we've just had to populate that. I'm going to just highlight as opposed to going through reading word for word. So in terms of the key strategic goal, which is about strengthening oversight, the objective is really in relation to holding to account who reports to us, which is the department, CG and NYDA, on matters related to women, youth, persons with disabilities, LGBTQIA+. I did take into consideration what Honourable Tsotetsi had suggested, and that was around the private sector. And that's why I've included that. The indicators is relates to the first 3 priorities, which is a sanitary dignity program, unemployment, and GBV. We've included oversight visits, which is per annum, usually about 2. The second indicator is regular engagements and meetings to discuss matters with department, NYDA, and CGE. As we move down to the The second oversight matter, which is around the implementation of legislation. And the legislation which falls under the ambit of this committee is the NYDA Act, the CGE Act, and the Council Act. The third component around the goal for strengthening oversight is around matters pertaining to the budget. And this is specifically in relation to Vote 20, because that is where members have the opportunity to engage with the annual reports for the department, NYDA CGE, and we have a budget vote report. We also engage on the quarterly reports as well as annual performance reports, and the specific reports that are outcomes of that particular matter for every financial year. In terms of the second goal, legislative processes, we understand that as Chair's indicated, we will look at the committee bill in towards term 4 of 25-26, and that in all likelihood would carry on to the next financial year. We understand that there's a wage bill, South African Youth Bill, and a Disability Rights Bill, but at this moment in time, there's no tabling date set by the minister at this moment, even though we've requested it, but it's something that we'll keep following up on. And the moment we have any of these tabled, the strategic plan would be adjusted accordingly along with the APP. A second component around the legislative process is ensuring meaningful public participation. And again, we will ensure meaningful participation when we look at the amendment to the council bill. Once the wage bill, South African Youth Development Bill, and Disability Rights Bill is tabled, we will ensure adequate public hearings in that regard. Over and above public hearings with respect to bills, we will also ensure opportunities to engage, for the public to engage with the committee. One of the suggestions was for us to have a research colloquium towards mid-June of next year with a particular focus on matters related to persons with disabilities, employment and education. For strategic goal 4, which is around improving public office appointments, we will ensure open, fair and transparent statutory appointment processes, again specifically for the council, CGE commissioners and NYDA board. And then the second indicator is the development of a report in relation to each of those processes. And then finally, for goal 5, which is around improving international engagement, it's monitoring country reports and concluding observations. For 2025, we haven't received anything, but we will ensure a briefing for each of the financial years after that to make sure that we hold the department to account when it comes to the deposit of the respective country reports. It's also around the committee for monitoring and assessing the implementation of bilateral and multilateral agreements, as this was one particular indicator, target and goal, which featured prominently in Parliament's strat plan and APP, and we followed through with that. So we will check with the department and the NYDA the years to come around what are the bilaterals and multilaterals that impact women, youth and persons with disabilities. And then in terms of the study tour, the suggestion was for France and France and Spain, which we've looked at for the financial year 2026-27. Chair, the next section just covers some risks and along with some mitigation measures. The committee secretary, Mvaba, along with Yolanda, has outlined and done specifically the budget forecast. The budget is allocated is 3 million per annum for the committee, and we understand that the study tour allocation comes from a consolidated fund. So over and above the 3 million allocated for the committee to do its work, there's also this allocation for the study tour, but this is just a projection. Chairperson, I'm just going to hold there before I move on to the APP and request if there are any comments and additions I should take note of. Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson. Ms. Shabangu
Sorry.
has raised her hand.
Yes, I see your hand. Sorry about that, Honorable Shabangu.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning to yourself and all the members in the platform. Chair, can I keep my video off because I'm in the car?
No problem, Honorable Member. Please proceed.
Thank you. I want to appreciate the team for putting everything together that we discussed. And firstly, let me echo your words in support of Dr. Lehlape. We hope that the maximum sentence, at least, it will mean justice for him, for his murdered daughter. Chair, on the priority focus areas, I just wanted to check because the presenter spoke of that our priority will be the youth employment. If we can club that together with youth and people with disability, because we've noticed that other departments, they are stubborn. They do not want to increase the number of people with disability in the employment. That maybe on that one, to the employment of youth, we must club it together with people with disability, because I think that must also be our focus. Other than that, I think other members can also contribute to this presentation. Thank you so much, Chair. Thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Shabangu. Those are good points. I think we can factor that in. Honorable Chauke Aduanis.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and greetings to yourself and honorable members on the platform and those who are joining us online. I would also like to request if I can keep my camera off for bandwidth purposes.
No problem, Honorable Webb.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairperson. I'd like to also extend our support to the Lehlape family. And we do hope that our justice service really hands down a very hefty and heavy sentence. We do know that the scourge of gender-based violence in our country is quite ravid, and we are calling it a national pandemic, and therefore we are calling for justice to be served. Chairperson, in terms of the strat plan, I would also just like to appreciate members of the Portfolio Committee and our support team in compiling a very high-level comprehensive strategy plan. And in just viewing, I would also like to appreciate the fact that from the onset of the strategy plan, it does outline the function of this particular portfolio committee. And I've seen many other portfolio committees having quite some challenges with really clearly distinguishing the core functions of the portfolio committee. So that is really appreciated because this then gives us a sense and a guidance as to the work that we're supposed to be doing when it comes to accountability, oversight, administrative accountability, etc. Chair, I also agree with the not doctor, sorry, I've graduated you with Honorable Fisani on the element of youth with disabilities. What I would like to really echo in terms of our targets, when it comes to employment, when it comes to social and economic opportunities, what we must also prioritize is the fact that persons with disabilities are primarily left behind and are set as a target that is isolated. So I don't know how it is that we can make it a primary base, that whether we're looking at education, health, economic or social opportunities or justice, can we ensure that that particular sector is not left behind, but it becomes a primary fixture so that we can ensure that even those who fall within those particular demographic groups, whether it be women or youth, those who are persons with disabilities in those sectors are not left behind. Also, Chairperson, on the part, I just wanted clarity regarding the study tour. We have taken a decision that we are then prioritizing those two countries as our study tour. Can I get guidance that are we agreeing that it will no longer be an application for this December, but will be an application for next year? If I heard it correctly to say it will fall under the 2026, 2027 program. And then also just wanted to find out that what then happens, Chair, just for clarity purposes, what then happens to the budget allocation for study tours for the 2024-2025 budget allocation? And then lastly is to find out in terms of I'm not sure if I might have missed it, if we had put in our strat plan the priority departments that we will then be engaging with continuously, and that would be part of the program that we are following. And what exactly are we looking to achieve by those particular engagements? So, for example, putting the Department of Basic Education, what have we outlined that we will be in constant consultation and communication with this department so that we can look at particular targets that they are meeting? I think then I am satisfied with everything else. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Webb. Before I take the hand of Honourable Kanile, I just wanted to say one of the difficulties as to why we were not able to circulate to you today the draft fourth term program and the first term program is because currently the program as it stands actually takes us up. The program that was tabled to the chairperson's committee meeting this week takes us up to the 17th of December. So currently the last meeting for the fourth term is scheduled for the 17th of December. We were informed that the NAPC this morning will try and see how they rework this program so that we don't sit until the 17th of December. But quite clearly, if we are going to have an extended fourth term program, we will not be able to take our study tour in December. And that's why we will prioritize it for early in 2026. But we also said that we wanted to liaise with the parliaments of the countries that we want to visit to find out what their parliamentary terms are so that we can also align the program, our program with their programs. About the budget, the actual study tour budget, as far as I understand, won't come from our budget, but it's a parliamentary budget that we'll be utilizing. So it won't have an effect on the numbers that we are currently presenting. But at the end, Ms. Abrams will tell us what amendments we can still further make to our document. But thank you for those inputs, Honourable Chauke Adonis. Can I take the hand of Honourable Kanile? You are up next.
Honourable Chair, good morning to you and good morning to colleagues. Honourable Chair, I have also noted the inputs. Before I go there, I think I'd also like to comment on the issue of Honourable Letlape's family matter. I'd also wish to add my voice that we stand with him, we support him, and we are hoping that when the court sentences today, the perpetrator is going to get a maximum sentence that is going to send a very strong message to all the perpetrators out there and any person that is still thinking of abusing women or murdering women, that our country, the laws of our country are not going to tolerate it. And we're also going to keep on fighting gender-based violence and ensure that it is totally eliminated within our communities. Honorable Chair, coming back to matters on the program today, I noted your comment on the bill. I just want to flag something that I think we may have missed also during our straight plan. It just came to mind as I was going through this document. The LGBTQIA community, I understand that it falls within this community, within this portfolio committee. However, I have noticed that most of the time when we speak about their issues or we speak about them in passing. I think when it comes to issues of gender-based violence, we know that there's been a number of reported cases of corrective rape that happens against them. I think when we deal with GBV, we're going to have to look at that. I am not sure if that's also possible when we look at unemployment, we look at what is actually made available for them, for that community, and what it's actually catered for. Maybe if, I don't know, if there is a way for us to look at that. And also, going forward, I also concur with Honorable Chauke when she speaks about the priority departments that we need to identify that we are going to engage with constantly going forward. But I remember also at some point we discussed that there need to be a monitoring tool or a document or a guide that will be given to those departments so that when they come and present to us, they know what we are expecting. I think there needs to be some sense or form of uniformity. If you remember very well, there's a meeting that we attended with the Department of Higher Education and Basic Education. Their presentations were just all over the place. I think we took the whole day. We also asked questions, but we could not find each other. We then suggested that we may need to have a document that is a guide, maybe that will indicate that we are looking for a number of employment of women, of youth, persons with disabilities. We want to know if you are reaching your equitable share, because some of the presentations, they did not even cover that aspect. And I believe that when we are doing monitoring and evaluation, those are the things that we will want to see reflecting on their presentations. So for us to be able to also monitor or track progress as we engage with them going forward, if there's been any progress from the previous presentation that they would have brought to us. That is all my input for now, Chairperson. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Kanile. Ms. Abrams?
Thank you, Chairperson. Ms. Shabangu, I agree with you, and the Honorable Chake Jonas and Ms. Khanile. So for matters pertaining with disabilities, term 2 and 3 is where we're going to look at. I see Ms. Chake's hand is up again, Chairperson. Should I wait to see there's an additional question?
Yeah, let's quickly hear Honorable Chake Adonis. Did you forget to add something?
Apologies, Chairperson. I was not quick enough in raising my hand. I just wanted to add the part regarding the NCGBVF as part of our strategic plan or strategic program, seeing that we are then going to proceed with advertising of that. I'm not sure on which page it is then fixtured as part of our priorities. I see that we've put there the NYDA and CGE, but I do not see the NCGBVF being put or tabled as one of the entities that we will then be strategically oversighting. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Ms. Abrams, back to you.
Sure. Yes, Ms. Take Jonas, it's definitely there. It's under statutory appointments. So besides CG, NYDA, we've got the council listed as one. Coming back to the matters pertaining to unemployment, so term 2 and 3 is where we will look at unemployment for women, youth and persons with disabilities. For youth, it's around that National Youth Service graduates and the NTT, as well as the 3% employment equity targets. I agree, Ms. Khanile, that when we look at the unemployment matters, I'll definitely include matters related to the LGBTQIA+. And so in terms of ensuring that we cover disability, that's definitely covered. With respect to who we engage with and the priority departments, the APP then unpacks.
Honorable Chair, I am so sorry to disrupt. May I please be recognized?
Yes, Honorable Kanile.
Honorable Chair, may I request that honorable members switch off their videos? I think for some of the videos that we are seeing, I don't want to comment on that, but I think it will be proper that we switch off our videos. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that intervention, Honorable Kanile. My apologies, Ms. Abrams, you can continue.
No problem, Chair. So in terms of who we engage with priority departments, under sanitary dignity, it's the Department of Education, the Department of Social Development, National Treasury, both, and then the provincial departments and national departments for those, for that group. That falls under sanitary dignity. For unemployment, there would be a range of departments around term 2 and 3, which the committee would decide on per annum who we'd want to engage with. So, for example, it would be Department of Higher Education, Department of Labour, DPSA, and small business development along with the NYDA as an example of this, the departments you'd like to focus where the emphasis on employment of women, youth, and persons with disabilities. In term 4, when we look at GBVF, it's 2 pillars per annum. So the first 2 pillars hypothetically could be around prevention and research. And around the prevention matters, there again, we'd engage with Department of Health, Department of Social Development, Justice, Police, as an example. So we definitely per annum would decide for one given year which departments we will prioritize. So in relation to each of our themes. So that's how we cover the key components related to the departments. Honorable Khanile, I agree with you. When we look at GBVF, we will definitely ensure that there's emphasis around LGBTQIA plus persons as well as persons with disabilities. Members would recall that when I presented the quarterly report for the department, I put up on the screen a briefing note. That is an indication as to what we expect of a department before they come and present. My suggestion would be that I could add into the strategic plan in order to ensure a more focused and astute oversight and briefings, that I present that briefing note to members before the letter of invitation goes out to a specific department. So, for example, when it comes to the Sanitary Dignity Program in Term 1, where we're going to ask National Treasuries, Basic Education and Social Development to come, I will come with a briefing note beforehand and say, members, these are the questions we will be asking from the respective departments, and this is how we want to present them. And then members can give input. And that briefing note goes together with a letter of invitation to the respective department, so members will have an idea beforehand as to what you expect, what you want to ask, and what these departments are to present to you. Chair, that would cover the briefing note. In terms of tracking, we do have a M&E tracking tools, an Excel spreadsheet, which gets updated the moment we have minutes adopted. So once we've adopted the minutes today, I will update that Excel spreadsheet and members will then receive it in next week. Chairperson, I think you covered the matter around the study tour in terms of practically time, and that we will prioritize that for early 2026-27. And yes, I agree with you. The money for the study tour doesn't come out of that 3 million from the committee's allocated budget, but comes from the consolidated fund, for which each committee has an opportunity to go on study tour and has to put forward a motivation and a budget forecast for that. Chair, I think I've covered everything that members have requested. So the issue of the disabilities there, I will just check in the notes section whether it's specified. I will include the issue of the briefing note as a guide to ensure that information sent to the committee when departments present is uniform and coherent. Thank you, Chair. If there's anything else that I should add, I'll do that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Abrams. Colleagues, can I then ask with the amendments that Ms. Abrams will make, whether you are willing to move for the adoption of this document? I need a mover and a seconder, please. I will take hands, colleagues. Honorable Kanyile.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I move that we adopt the document. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Kanyile. Honorable Chalke Aduenes, can you second for us? Are you willing to second?
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Yes, I do second the adoption of the strat plan.
Thank you very much. Ms. Abrams?
Yes, Chair, the last one, it's the APP, and that will go very quick. I will move right down again to the section that focuses on the plan for the year in terms of what we intend doing. And again, this is based on a template that was given to us by committee section for which we populate. For holding the department to account, we have briefings for the year. We just need to, I need to get clarity as to, for the next oversight visit, will that be to the Eastern Cape? I've heard members indicate that in previous discussions. In terms of the Council Act, I've put that in there to focus on, in terms of, it would be the fourth quarter, not the first. I'll just correct. We've had 2 briefings so far on the Council Act. If indeed we will proceed with it in term 4, based on the meeting that we will have in the first week of October, I will adjust that accordingly. We will have a budget vote, BRRR, in the third quarter. We've had engagements with the quarterly reports. In terms of the council bill, so far we've had briefings by CLSO, and in terms of the way forward, how we will proceed, I will adjust that accordingly based on the input we would receive in the first week of October. In the event that we would call for public hearings, we would ensure that advert goes out. For engagement with the public, we've had quite a few external stakeholder briefings with regards to ensuring open and transparent appointment processes. We will ensure that that is achieved, as well as we had briefings in that regard. With regard to oversight of international agreements, we haven't had any country reports, but I factored in a briefing in the term 3 and term 4 to get some input from both the department and the NYDA in terms of bilaterals and multilaterals that impact on women, youth and persons with disabilities. Again, for the budget, chairperson and members, it was Mvaba and Yolanda that have put together the budget for us, and it's a forecast. And again, the allocation has been for 3 million with an indication of oversight visits, the committee meetings, processing of legislation, statutory appointments, and the honouring of invitations. Chairperson, that in a nutshell is your APP. I can take any comments and additions or amendments in that regard. Thank you.
Honourable members, do you have any questions of clarity? Do you want to make any inputs? I think, Ms. Abrams, you did a wonderful job. Nobody wants to make any amendments. Then, honourable members, can I ask if you are happy with this document that we take, again, a mover and a seconder? Honourable Peterson.
Greetings to all of the colleagues. Thank you so much, Chair. I move.
Thank you very much. Can I take a seconder, please? Honourable Kanile.
Thank you, Chair. I second the proposal to adopt the reports of, I think it's the APP. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Kanile. Colleagues, then with regard, but wait, Honourable Abrams asked us a question. Honourable Abrams, now I've upgraded you. Sorry. Ms. Abrams asked us whether our next oversight visit will be to the Eastern Cape. Colleagues, you will recall that we've had discussions about this in the past. Are you happy that we plan an oversight visit to the Eastern Cape, which will be at the end of October? That will be the last week of October. We will come back to Parliament the first week of November, and we will then lead the statutory rape inquiry from the 10th to the 12th. Can I hear whether members are happy with the Eastern Cape? Honourable Kanile?
Thank you, Chairperson. I am more than happy that we go to Eastern Cape, especially now that we're also going to be leading the thingy on the teenage pregnancy. There's a recent shocking stats that have been released on teenage pregnancy in the Eastern Cape. So I think that will also give us a proper background when we come back and start doing our work. We will know exactly what we are dealing with. When we go for an oversight, I would love if it's possible for Kashifa to and the team to also ensure that we speak to some traditional leaders, because I believe that there's some information that we also need to get on the traditional leaders. We need to understand what is their understanding of GBV, because I also understand in areas that are rural, like the Eastern Cape and the KZN, they also still have the culture of Ugutwala. So we need to understand what are their sentiments now that we are in 2025. What are their sentiments around that issue, number one? What do they understand also about statutory rape? I think those are some of the things that we need to understand, so that when we come back, we can also put it to the work that we will be doing. But I'm more than happy that we go to Eastern Cape. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Kanile. Honorable Chauke Adonis, followed by the Honorable Mbiko.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I also echo the same sentiments with Honorable Kanile, that I am in full support of our oversight going to the Eastern Cape, also taking appreciation of some of the disparities and the magnitude of those disparities, especially faced by those we preside over. And I think I also do, support the element of us ensuring that the traditional leaderships are involved. Perhaps as a proposal, just echoing or adding on to what Honorable Kanile has indicated, we can have a stakeholder engagement with traditional leaders, as we did when we went to KZN and had stakeholder engagement with the disability sector. Perhaps we can have a one-day session where we have invited local traditional leaders to come and engage on those areas of, positive masculinity, on the gender responsive programs, GBV, statutory rape, and also teenage and learner pregnancy within the communities. I think that would be quite critical. I think also, Chairperson, what is important in the Eastern Cape, and I would like for our content advisor and the team and our research team to really look into this, is for us to have a standardized template that we utilize on our oversight. And I think we had something similar to that in our last oversight, that gives us criteria and areas of focus that we should have a sort of a tick box exercise to say, did they respond to these concerns or these issues? Were we sufficiently satisfied with addressing issues of inaccessibility or education or matters that are related to gender-based violence, etc.? That will assist the portfolio committee, so that we then have a consolidated report that we submit that says that yes, all members of the portfolio committee, in terms of their score sheets or their scorecards or their whatever formula, they have been satisfied through the oversight in achieving what was intended as part of our targets. So I am in full support of that, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chauke Adonis. Honorable Mbiko.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you very much to all of you members. No, coming from the Eastern Cape myself, I just wanted to make it a point that I also agree and I welcome the visit to the Eastern Cape, because the challenges that we're facing there, I know them firsthand. Lusikisiki being the place that we would love us to visit at some point when we are there, because this Ukutwala thing, it's rampant over there. And that is the area where, they welcome the fact that when you are in love with your boyfriend or your husband, if he loves you very much, he must beat you when there's something wrong that he does not like or appreciate what that you have done. So for them, not being, beaten up by your husband, it means your husband does not love you enough. So we are experiencing those kinds of reports, most of the times from the Eastern Cape. But I just wanted to raise my hand and say I am here. I'm from Eastern Cape. I'm very excited and happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mbiko. And maybe just to underscore what the Honorable Kanyile had raised around the shocking statistics, it was in fact, I think 2 weeks ago when the Eastern Cape government revealed that more than 100 children between the ages of 10 and 14 gave birth between April and July of this year in that province. And in the same period, close to 5,000 teenagers also gave birth. That was according to Childline. So clearly there is a crisis in the province of the Eastern Cape. And I think that will be our focus area. And it will also then, as you had mentioned, Honorable Kanyile, tie nicely in with the work that we will be doing, leading the statutory rape inquiry on behalf of Parliament. So colleagues, we have now adopted our strat plan, our APP with the changes that you have proposed. We have resolved and agreed on going to the Eastern Cape for our next oversight visit. I do want to emphasize again that we will be having a lot of work on our plate in the fourth term. It is both the process of the CGE, the process of the appointments to the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. We will lead the statutory rape inquiry. We'll be engaging in the BRRR process. We'll be going on oversight. And then hopefully next year we'll embark on our study tour. Colleagues, I want to find out, did you read the minutes so that you are able to approve the minutes, or did you want me to defer that to our next meeting? If I can just get an impression, because we've got 10 minutes before we need to join the House. Are you ready to adopt minutes?
Yes, Chair, ready to adopt.
Thank you so much. Honorable Chauke Adonis. Ms. Silly? Yolanda? Okay, thank you. Colleagues, here is a set of minutes. We were dealing at that stage with the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide ad, briefing by the National Treasury on this process. Just scroll down. Those were the members in attendance: Honorable Chauke Adonis, Honorable Kanyile, Honorable Peterson, and others. Those were the apologies. I'm sure honorable members have read through this, so can I take a hand that would like to adopt the minutes? Or just, you can just open your mic and speak. Honorable Peterson?
Thank you so much, Chair. I move to adopt the minutes.
Thank you so much. A seconder, please.
Chairperson, I
Yes.
would like to second the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you so much. Honorable Chauke Adonis? This is a set of minutes from the 24th of June. We were dealing again with the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. We were at S12A. We also had a briefing from our department on the board appointments and the funding of the council. Please move down. Those were the members present: Honorable Kanyile, Honorable Shabango Adams, Chauke Adonis. Please move down. Please, can I see if you are happy to adopt this set of minutes, if you've read through it? I'll take hands or just speak.
Honorable Chair,
Yes, Honorable Kanyile.
I move for the adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Kanyile. Honorable Chauke Adonis. Honorable Chauke
Thank you,
Adonis.
Chair. I therefore second the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Here we've got a set of minutes of the 27th of June. It was on the virtual platform. We dealt with the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide ad. We dealt with a NYDA strategic plan and annual performance plan. Present as listed there, Honorable Chauke Adonis, Shabango Totsetsi, Adams Ganile, Honorable Mabel, move down. Honorable Peterson, Lonzi, Nkunu, and Dr. Leklape. Can I please ask for a mover and a seconder?
Chairperson,
Yes,
I therefore
Honorable.
move for the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Honorable Peterson.
Thank you so much, Chair. I second for the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you so much. Colleagues, this is a set of minutes on the virtual platform of 1 July. We had a meeting with the CGE on their strategic plan and annual performance plan. Members as listed, Honorable Chauke Adonis, Shabango Totetse, Adams Ganile, Spies, Honorable Mabel Peterson, and Dr. Leklape. Can I ask for a mover of this set of minutes? Honorable Ganile. Honorable Peterson.
Sorry, Chair, I was struggling to unmute. I move for the adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ganile. Honorable Peterson.
Chair, I second for the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you very much. This is a set of minutes from the 2nd of July on the virtual platform. All honorable members were present. Please, can I get a mover and a seconder?
Honorable Chair,
Yes.
I move that we adopt the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ganile. Honorable Chauke Adonis.
I move that I move to second the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, this is a set of minutes from the 22nd of July on the virtual platform. We again dealt with legal services on the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. All honorable members were present. Honorable Pulwani was present. Just scroll down. Honorable Peterson, Dr. Leklape, and Honorable Notenja from the UDM. Can I ask for a mover? Honorable Pulwani. Honorable Pulwani, can you move for the adoption? Okay. Any other member?
Chair, I move for the adoption.
Thank you, Honorable Peterson. A seconder? Honorable Kanile.
Honorable Chair, I second. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, colleagues, we are going to pause here because it's now 5 minutes to 10 o'clock, and I know honourable members will have to join the mini plenaries. I would like to say, Ms. Abrams, let's just make a note that in our next meeting that we do a briefing on the resolutions tracker. I think members want to see how we will keep track of our resolutions and the document that you refer to. Thank you very much, honourable members, for your contributions this morning, and thank you very much for your understanding with regard to the changes to the programme. You would have seen that we had exactly 1 hour to deal with all of these important items, so we didn't really have time to consider anything else, but thank you for your understanding. I would like to say a special thank you to Ms. Silly for standing in and for her hard work, and then thank you very much to Ms. Abrams, to Ms. Levendale and Ms. Matthews for the hard work in assisting us to prepare our APP and strat plan. Colleagues, I wish all of you a very good recess. May it be a productive one. And again, Dr. Letlape, we keep you and your family in our prayers and thoughts today, and we will follow the outcome of the sentencing on the media platforms, but also do keep us abreast of developments. Colleagues, thank you very much. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful recess. We will circulate the documents that we've promised you, the draft fourth term program, draft first term program, and the advertisement once it is published on the WhatsApp group. So thank you very much, colleagues. The meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you all.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, colleagues.
Mama Fisani.
Mama Mhlonishwa. Thank
Bye.
you.
Long live the chair.
Long live my whip and my Mama Fisani. Bye.
Bye, colleagues.